This is the facelift 2024 BMW X7 M60i xDrive. What this is the flagship X7, unless you get the Alpina XB7, but this BMW has a massive trick. Under the hood, it gets a brand new engine. It's an M engine, the S68. It's tuned to efficiency, but it's the motor straight out of the XM BMW. It is a 48-volt mild hybrid, 4.4-liter V8 twin-power turbo, and it makes 523 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. And the electric motor built into the transmission adds another 12 horsepower and 147 pound-feet of torque. That helps this really heavy body, which weighs 5,900 pounds or 2.6 tons, hit 100 kilometers an hour in 4.4 seconds, which is amazing for a vehicle of this size. Let's take a step back though and look at the outside, because it comes with a face that not everybody loves yet, but in person and this amazing Marina Bay blue, I really don't mind it. I think it's a very good looking car from any angle you look at it. It has these crazy 22-inch wheels. You can even get 23s if you want. It has the M Pro package, so it gets the big blue M calipers. It has the crystal headlights. This one even has a tow hitch, for God's sake. It can tow 7,500 pounds, which is 3.4 tons. It is a real SUV, since with the air suspension, two-axle air suspension, you can even raise it or lower it. The interior quality is also astonishing. This one here has the carbon trim. Fit and finish is fantastic. There's no creaking, cracking, nothing. All the materials are very high grade. You get a suede roof liner. Lots of leather everywhere. This one has the full merino leather, which is incredible. Very comfortable seats. They have the M Sport thigh extension. They're powered, of course, heated, ventilated. They give you a massage. I mean, what else can you ask for? The second row in this occasion gets captain chairs. They're also very comfortable. They don't have as much legroom as you would expect in the default position, but you can push them further back to get more legroom. However, that will be to the expense of the third row, which when everything is in the default position, the third row can also accommodate adults quite easily. You also get heated seats in the third row, which is fantastic. Going in and out is quite easy because the gap is pretty big, but you have to wait quite a while because the seat moves forward electronically, so it takes a while. It is a very comfortable six-seater in this occasion, and we took it on a trip. We did over 1,000 kilometers in it, and honestly, the whole family was really rested, relaxed. It was one of the nicest cars to go on a long trip with. However, it wasn't the most economical on the highway. The average fuel consumption we've noted this week is about 12.7 liters per 100 kilometers. On the highway, however, it climbs really quickly as speeds climb. So you can do a pretty decent, 100 kilometer an hour trip, but that will keep the fuel economy under 10 liters per 100. But if you set it to, let's say, 125, 130 kilometers an hour, then it will climb to like 11, 12 quite easily. On the highway, however, you get to enjoy the crazy Assisted Plus driving assistant, which what it does is when it's ready, you just let go of the steering wheel and it takes over the complete car. It does the driving for you. If it's in any case uncertain of what's happening, it will buzz and beep beep and tell you to take over. But it does a great job even at night, even with the rain. You get this augmented reality display too that shows you like the vectors it's following and the target car it's locked onto in the front. Everything is fantastic. The heads-up display is also really beautiful. I have to say the level of confidence letting the car drive by itself on the highway was pretty high. Of course, just as any other BMW, it also has the backup assistant and really good backup cameras. This one, however, has an incredible Bowers & Wilkins sound system, which costs about $5,000, but it was great to have on a trip. So back to performance in the engine, I have no complaints. It pulls really well, it's really powerful, has more than enough power to move this really heavy thing at crazy pace. However, in town, it does get a little bit jerky. The transmission shifts really quickly and smoothly, no complaints there. The xDrive balance is also very good, tuned a little bit on the safe side compared to like the X5 or whatever. It doesn't really kick out the tail if you drive too hard. But hey, this is the X7, why would it do something like that? The air suspension is absolutely incredible. It literally smoothens out everything on the ground. Like ride comfort is, in a word, fantastic. And even in Sport mode or Sport Plus, it doesn't get that firm, even though it controls the body a lot better than in not Sport mode, like in Comfort. But you know what? in any mode, this car remains super comfortable. Like now I'm going over a really, really bumpy road. This is where I come to test ride quality. And as you can see, it's quiet. It has laminated glass. It has rubber seals around the door. So in here, it's very quiet. But even when it's absorbing bumps and hitting potholes, you can't hear much. Look, now I'm going to go over a really, really rough patch. Look what's going to happen. Handling wise now, for the size of it, it turns incredibly well. It grips to the limits are like limits that I think nobody will ever attempt to reach in this kind of car. Like honestly, nobody would drive an X7 that hard, but even if you do, it responds very well. It's not very playful, it understeers, but it does grip like crazy. The steering feels great, the brake pedal feels amazing, the brakes are strong. It's a pretty capable car, but honestly, I don't think you would, you would go on the Autobahn like 250 maximum speed, but in normal roads, like twisty roads, I think you'd probably take it easy. You'd probably have your whole family with you anyway, so all good. Around town though, it does have four-wheel steering, which really helps maneuvering around town. And in general, if I have to say one thing about this vehicle, is that it does feel luxury and it does feel like it's worth the money it costs. Which brings us to the price. In Canada, the M60i X7 starts at $132,000. This one, as tested, is $156,000. In the US, prices start at $108,700. But here are a few things that I don't like about this X7. First of all, as I mentioned, in traffic, it does get a little bit jerky. Next up, for a vehicle of this size, it's not as roomy as you would think. The middle row of seats doesn't have crazy legroom, and when you have all the seats up, you're not left with much of a trunk. However, if you fold the third row, then yeah, you have a crazy big trunk. As I said, on the highway, it does get a bit thirsty if you like traveling faster than normal. Again, the face is not loved by everybody, but once again, people that actually might buy this usually like it. It also has an illuminated grille at night at the front in case you missed the grille. And my final complaint, which I also noticed in the X5 previously, is that CarPlay sometimes doesn't reconnect. And then you have to hold the power button and wait 20 seconds for the whole infotainment to reset, and then it will connect again. Sometimes I tried from my phone, turning on and off the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi, and then it did connect, but I thought that mostly it's the infotainment that is a bit hesitant to reconnect. Other than that, love this vehicle, loaded with technology, loaded with luxury, very nice to drive, can't really fault it, it is worth its money. Competition is also pretty fierce, so if you want something larger, maybe look at the domestic Americans, or look maybe a GLS, or I don't know if a Q7 has more space, but anyway, if space is your thing, you probably want to look at something else, but if you want European luxury that can go from one continent to another with no worries, this is it. And also, don't forget, you get an M engine. The M63 is gone. This one has an S68. S is code for M motors. So this is not a full M car, but it has a full M motor. I'm really confused with how BMW is doing this, because then they have M cars with no M motors. Whatever. S motor. Get it. Hope you like this video. That's pretty much it for today with the X7 M60i. Leave us a comment, subscribe. Most importantly, till next time, be well. Bye-bye.
Perfect. 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 Perfect.